Hey guys, so today we have a smackdown. And today, if it's going the way I really want it to go, you're going to be replacing a $30 product with a $4 product, but we'll have to see. We are talking under eye setting powders. And I have the Makeup Forever, what's this crap called? HD High Definition Powder. Microfinish powder, and this is just the little like 100-point size that you get from Sephora. And then I just bought the other day at Canadian Superstore the e.l.f. High Definition Under Eye Setting Powder. Life tip: if you're going to be in a situation where there's going to be lots of flash photography, don't use an HD under eye setting powder. Just use, you can either use like a Ben Nye luxury powder, because these don't have flashback, or just use your regular face powder and set it that way. These look amazing in non-flash photography or just in regular life, but have you ever seen that picture of Nicole Kidman where it looks like she has Coke underneath her eyes? Sorry, 1 second. Thirsty. That's because what they did is what they call baking, which I think I'm gonna do a smackdown of baking versus non-baking one day. But baking is where you take like your beauty blender, you put a whole bunch of powder on it, you cake it underneath your eyes, you let it cook or bake, and then you wipe it away, and it's supposed to really set your under eye powder. But if you don't get almost every single piece of that powder off, or micro piece, when it flashes, you have that white, you'll see people are saying Lindsay Lohan left Coke around her nose because it's around her nose. Lindsay Lohan didn't leave Coke, she would have used it all. So, except she's better now. So I'm gonna use cause I have all my makeup on except for concealer and powder, and I'm gonna use my Super Creasing Erase Paste by Benefit. Can you see it? It's this really, if this didn't crease on me, this would be great because it's peachy. You just use a teeny tiny amount, and I'm just going to press that in and make a funny face while I do it. I didn't put any eyeshadow underneath my eye, which normally I like to do some eyeshadow underneath my eye because I find it hides my bags. I'm gonna zoom in. There. So it hides my bags when I do that, but you can already see like the difference between this under eye to this under eye. This one looks better. There we go. So this, like I said, is the stuff that creases the most. I'm gonna really pat it in with my fingers to really warm it up. Again, with all under eye areas, you want to do patting motions, not like this, although I am definitely a culprit of doing this, just because you don't want to be tugging too much on your eyes. That causes premature wrinkles. Okay, so this is my e.l.f. blush brush, and it's just the most perfect like look how that fits underneath there. So we're gonna start with the HD setting powder, and I'm gonna do what I'm gonna call a mild cook. So I'm just gonna dip this in, and then I'm gonna swirl it around inside the lid just to get an even dispersing. And the Makeup Forever is going on the right eye. Okay, so there's that. We're gonna let that sit for a second. So the e.l.f. one, in the States, you can get e.l.f. lots of places. In Canada, we used to be able to get it at Target, but now it's Great Canadian Superstore, and they actually have quite a good collection. So let it sit for a minute, and then you just, when you cook, you put it on a lot heavier than that, but I don't want to normally do the other eye and then wipe it away, but I don't want to get any of the HD powder. So then you just make sure there's no powder left in your brush and just wiping it off on a towel, and you just sweep it away. And as you can see, it really did blur the lines underneath there and make it look nice. And set the powder. Okay, so now we're gonna do the HD e.l.f. powder. And the only thing, the HD e.l.f. powder, I don't know if you guys can see that. It has like, it's all over my finger now. I'll just pop that bit into the lid. Making a mess. It has little micro like sparkles in it, and I don't understand why. But apparently you can't see the sparkles once you have it on, which I really can't see. Let me look in this mirror here. No, I don't see. Maybe one or two, but I like sparkles. So we'll just let that, maybe we'll put a little bit more of that. The only thing with these HD powders is they're messy. Oh, it's my highlight. I was like, is there sparkles on my cheek? No, that's my highlight. So like they're messy and they're a little bit wasteful. I find I don't like loose powder foundations or like loose powder face powders. Loose face powders, there we go. Just because I find that they're wasteful. They get everywhere. Like I use them when I do it on clients because it's just easy. You can top some in the lid. It's very sanitary. But I just don't like them for myself. And now I'm just gonna do the same thing and sweep off that extra. So looking at my eyes, they look exact. Okay, so my SD card got full and I didn't realize I had, so they actually had a video filmed on there that I was like, oh, that one was a good idea. I should upload that onto YouTube. But what it did do is it let me get a really much closer look at what the eyes look like. So here are my eyeballs. This is the e.l.f. one and this is the Makeup Forever one. They look pretty similar on camera. In real life, I like the e.l.f. one better. You actually can see, also good wing liner day. I love it when my wing turns out. So anyways, the e.l.f. you actually, let's hope I don't knock my camera down. I need a better tripod. The e.l.f. one, you can see the little sparkles when you look really, really closely. But the way that those sparkles are reflecting light, I think makes this eye look a little bit juicier, a little bit younger. The one reason why I'm not a huge HD powder underneath the eyes person is because I find that it does make them look a little bit crepey. That's another reason why I tend to like to bring my eyeshadow and smoke out my lower lash line because that hides some of the crepiness. And that's why I chose this Erase Paste, this heavy concealer, because it also makes me look a little bit crepey. So I wanted to make these guys really, really, really work. So I, so far, am loving this e.l.f. one. I will, of course, check back in later today. My lighting is not going to be great because it is actually a thunderstorm out right now. So it's dark, but yeah. And plus, look how cute these little containers are. So cute. $4. The full size of this is like $30. I think you can buy one that's small, like a little bit littler for $20, but still like 4 or 5 times the price. So this little guy, so I will check back in later tonight. It's like 2 o'clock right now. So I'll probably check in right before bed, so like 10 o'clock at night. So we'll be on for a good little while and we'll be able to see if there's any difference. If there's not, I'll say $4 is our winner, but we will see. So I'll be back later. So I have had these under eye setting powders on. Oh, my camera's extra crooked today. Is that better? For hours, like 10 hours, I think. I probably did my makeup, yeah, around noon. And it's on. They don't really look much different. I feel like this is a boring later on that night reveal. Sorry, I'm really tired. I'm really excited to go to bed. But we will zoom in. Oh, things are getting crazy. So the winner of this, oh, I have my lighting really weird right now too. Let's see. Is that better? I should have turned my other light on, but I'm too lazy. This is the Makeup Forever side, and it looks so much creepier than the e.l.f. side, which just looks better. Like it just does. I'm really liking the e.l.f. side, and I'm really liking that setting powder. Now, when I went to Sephora, today, because, you know, why would I go to Sephora? Actually, my husband wanted some cologne samples, so we just popped in there, talked to our friends. I asked the one girl that works there, who's one of my peoples. I called them, and I was like, which one looks better? She's like, this side, it's so much brighter. What is it? And I was like, e.l.f. And she's like, no, shut up. I'm like, yeah, $4. And then she sent me home with a sample. I think this is left over from their Rouge party. of the Laura Mercier Secret something eye setting powder, secret brightening. And I noticed in it, so I'm gonna do a smackdown, but this one also has those little sparkles in it. So I think the reflect from the sparkles is what makes it better. So in the smackdown of the, I threw it on the ground. Hold please. So in the smackdown of the e.l.f. versus the Makeup Forever, e.l.f. for sure wins, 100%. I like this little $4 guy. I would repurchase this. Although with these setting powders, it takes about a million eons to work through them. I put it on really heavy today just for the example of the video. And in the future, I would definitely put it on with a lighter hand because that would make my eyes look less creepy and aged. But I love a good cheapy find. I totally root for the drugstore items in the smackdown. I root for the little guy. I am gonna do a smackdown between the Laura Mercier and the e.l.f. just to see, because this is raved about. So if you have an issue with me using a sample for my smackdown for my video, don't watch. Because I just don't need to buy 20 things without trying them. That's what I love about Sephora, the fact that they give you the samples so you can try before you buy, because things are not cheap there, and that's really great. So I'm excited that I have a definite winner, definitely one that makes me feel like my eyes look brighter and younger and more awake. Even though right now I'm really tired. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys are all having a really great day. Bye.